One of the greater tragedies in the Naruto series has got to be how many characters don't have parents. Naruto and Sasuke are the easy ones to pick out, but they're far from the last. Kakashi lost his parents at a young age as well. Might Guy, Obito, and even speculative, we have Konohamaru who's living with his grandpa for some reason. Why was I thinking about this plot element so intensely? Well, have you ever seen a little movie called Road to Ninja? I certainly have, and one of the main plot elements in that movie is how Naruto wishes he could see his parents, and how Sakura wishes she had no parents, so the two get to take a walk around the block in each other's shoes. Naruto gets to take some time to hang out with Minato and Kushina, who, in this world, never died at his birth, and Sakura got the chance to see what it's like being the legacy of two Konoha heroes who gave their lives to save the village. All around, the story is just full-on depressing. Like, it's got all the goods in it, but it's plucking on some very particular heartstrings, which is why the movie is so good. So, due to that, I wanted to make a story with a similar idea, but in this story, I want Naruto to be able to go back in time to try and save everyone and see what happens. Welcome to the Amagi. Before we begin, only 25% of our viewers are subscribed, so if you're a fan of the video, please like and double check if you are subscribed, and with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Naruto sat quietly in the darkness. As he sat there, he felt as though he were weightless. His mind had taken flight, and despite there being no light, he began to see again. The inner eye of his mind began to cast reflections of light before him that only he could see. Places and sights he'd seen, some he hadn't. Experiences that were entirely fictional. Bro fell asleep in the broom closet again, came a voice over his ear device. Huh? Naruto sat up, the light of his mind fading away to darkness as he bumped his head on the handle of a mop. Ouch. Finally back with us, Naruto? Yeah, sorry. What happened? Nothing so far, but I need you to be alert. I know it's a late night, but I need you awake. You hear me? Naruto nodded. Yes, Kakashi-sensei. I hear ya. These eyes are wide open. Naruto proceeded to yawn. They're wide open. Naruto proceeded to nod off for a time. That was until he heard a voice over the radio. Got movement. Naruto, get ready. He's headed your way. Naruto sits up, eyes widening. Got it. I'm in pursuit. Naruto stands and opens the door. Just then, he sees a man in a three-piece suit with a large cape move past, his top hat absurdly large. The hell? Ignore the outfit, Naruto. Chase him, Kakashi shouts. Naruto rushes after the man. Moving as fast as he can, he draws a bit nearer as the man heads for the door. Before he can get to the door, though, Sasuke appears in the doorway. In a moment of hesitation, the man slows just enough for Naruto to elbow him, causing him to drop what he had pilfered on the ground. The man, finding that his plan has been foiled, jumps up with ease to the upper story. Ho ho ho! Foiled again by the ninja of Konoha. No matter. This is not the last you will hear of Jean-Claude Van Der Neat, famous art thief. The man jumps up through the apparently open skylight and escapes into the moonlight, only a residual ho 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 being heard from the distance. Man, what the hell was that? Naruto questioned. What was he trying to steal anyway? Sakura asked. Naruto looked down at the ground before him to find what looked like a gilded pocket watch. As he lifted it up, he looked at it. Seems like some kind of timepiece, Naruto said as he examined it. Opening it up, he saw gold hands against a silver backdrop, each number in Roman numerals. The hands were just dangling. Shoot, I think he broke it, Naruto said. I'm on my way, Kakashi said. Just stay right there. Naruto reached out and attempted to fix the hands. Wait, they just got knocked out of place, he said as he pushed them back in. They clicked and stuck. Now, let's get this thing ticking again. He spun the dial on the side. Rolling the hands back, he got them to the proper time and let the thing start ticking again. As he did, a brilliant light, like that of a thunderstorm, began to shine around him, the very air crackling with electricity. Naruto was blinded by it for a second, but just as suddenly as the flashing lights appeared, they disappeared. Naruto looked around the room again. It was dark. He looked at the paintings on the wall and felt as though something was off about them, but couldn't be sure what. It was quiet. He put his finger to his ear. Kakashi-sensei? Are you there? Kakashi? There was nothing but static. Weird. It was then that a new light appeared, and it didn't seem supernatural at all. It was the light of a flashlight. Hey, "Who are you?" a voice said. Naruto looked over to see what appeared to be a security guard. "You're late," Naruto said. "The guy got away, but he dropped this," Naruto said, showing the watch. The guard confiscated it. Looking at Naruto for a moment, he spoke. "You're gonna need to come with me, sir." Naruto was confused. "Huh? What do you—" The man grabbed his arm. "Hey, let me go. I'm on mission. You can't just— Ow! Hey, quit it!" The man began to drag Naruto into the guard station. "What are you doing?" Naruto asked. "Do you know how old this timepiece is?" the guard asked. Naruto was silent for a second before shrugging. The man continued. "It's over 1,000 years old. It's rumored to have been the personal timepiece of the Sage of Six Paths, used to measure the length of time it took the moon to make one full cycle. This thing's worth more than your life, son." Naruto shrugged. "Thanks for the history lesson, but seriously, you gotta let me go. I'm on special mission from the Hokage to secure this place and keep a notorious art thief out." "As far as I can tell," the guard said, "the only art thief is you." "What are you talking about?" Naruto began to fumble in his pockets, looking for a receipt for the mission, only to find that he must have dropped it somewhere. "I'm here on mission." "If you were here from the Hokage, I would have heard about it, but I haven't, so I'm calling bull on your whole story." "If that's so, then call the Hokage and find out for yourself," Naruto said. "We'll see how stupid you look then." The guard smiled. "Fine, let's do that. And when the Hokage refuses to vouch for you, I'm gonna love watching the Konoha police force lock you up." The man got on the phone and began to talk. "At the Konoha Museum of Ancient History. Yeah, we had a break-in and the kid says he's on mission from you. Was hoping whether you could verify for me." A bit of silence passed. "Description? Yeah, he's wearing an orange jumpsuit and has blonde hair. Yes, sir, he's wearing a Konoha headband. Genin age. Caught him with the Sage's pocket watch. Yeah, I can hold them for you. Yeah, I'll see ya." The man hung up the phone. Looking to Naruto, he smiled. "You're in big trouble now. The Hokage's coming personally to nab ya." "I think you're the one in trouble," Naruto said. "The Hokage will have your job." For a time, they waited in silence, both the guard and Naruto, staring at each other with nefarious smiles on their faces, sure that each one was going to be right. Some more time passed before a knock on the door was heard. The guard stood and walked over. Opening the door, he showed their guest in. "Here's the boy I was telling you about, Lord Hokage," the guard said. Naruto turned around and suddenly his face displayed confusion. "Who are you?" Naruto asked. The blonde-haired man smiled. "I'm the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze." "Where's Gramps Hiruzen at?" Naruto asked. Minato began to laugh. He retired a while ago. His handling of the Third Shinobi World War garnered him a bad reputation. Naruto had no idea what he was talking about, but as he thought back to Hokage Rock, he did recall spray painting on the face of the fourth Hokage, and this man did display something akin to a resemblance of that man, yet a little less rocky and stern. "So, this boy said you sent him on some mission to protect our collection without informing us. Is this true?" the guard said, sitting back in his chair, expecting a definitive answer to his liking. Minato was about to answer when he looked back to Naruto. He wasn't sure why, but something was wrong here. He felt like he had seen this kid before, but wasn't sure how or where. Despite what everyone expected, Minato agreed to what Naruto said. "Yeah, I sent him. There was a credible threat to your collection. I left your boss a message on his phone, but it must have never gone through. I'll claim responsibility for that mishap." "Wait, this kid doesn't even know who you are, though. How did you send him on a mission like this if he doesn't know who you are?" Minato scratched the back of his head and told the best lie he could come up with. "Well, he's a fresh genin, and I didn't give him the mission directly. I gave it to his sensei, and they must have informed him that I sent him." The guard nodded. "So, tell me, what's this kid's name?" Minato suddenly froze, but Naruto stepped in smoothly. "What kind of idiot are you?" he asked the guard. "You think the Hokage would hire me and not know my name is Naruto? You're just 7 different colors of stupid, aren't you? Besides, who are you to interrogate the Hokage of all people? You're the Nightman who makes a living watching TV all night. This is a patriot, the leader of the free world." The guard raised his hands to calm Naruto. Okay, I believe you, I'm sorry. You're free to go. Sorry to cause all this trouble." Minato nodded his head. "No, the apology is mine. Now, come on, let's get out of here, Naruto. I don't think the criminal's coming tonight, and if he does, I'm sure the guard here is more than capable of handling it himself." Naruto stood and walked out with Minato. As they left the building back onto the street, Naruto spoke. I don't know who you really are, mister, but thanks for saving my button there. Now we really do need to report back to Hiruzen. I need to tell him that Jean-Claude Van Dernit got away. Minato scratched his head. I'm sorry, kid, but Hiruzen Sarutobi isn't the Hokage anymore. Naruto tried to push it off as a joke, but the more Naruto bucked against it, the more adamant Minato became. You're kidding, right? Who did you say you were again? He asked. I'm Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage. Naruto thought about it. Looking back through his memories, he vaguely remembered reading about Minato in a textbook, and the image that came with it highly favored this man. But it was impossible. Nah, can't be, he said. Why not? Minato asked. Well, for one, the real 4th Hokage is dead. Minato took a step back. I don't know who's spreading rumors about me, but they're obviously not true. Here I am, in the flesh. I don't know what to tell you, mister, but I know what I know, he said. Thanks for busting me out, but I gotta go. Naruto began to walk off. Hey, wait, Minato shouted, following after. Naruto walked through the streets until he reached the Hokage's office, where he walked in. The receptionist stopped him. Hold up, you're not allowed to go up, she said. It's okay, Minato said, walking in after him. He is with me. The receptionist nodded. As you wish, Lord Fourth. They took the stairs up. Once they reached the office, Naruto opened the door. Gramps, I need to... Looking around, he saw nobody there. He walked a little deeper and looked around. The office looked different compared to what it had been before. As he came to the window, he looked out over Konoha and noticed that there were glaring differences. Places where there were supposed to be buildings, there weren't. And places where there shouldn't be any buildings, there now were. Something's really messed up. At this time, Naruto began to look back at the time he grabbed that watch. Something strange had happened, but he hadn't understood. Minato stood there. Are you okay? Naruto turned back to the desk and began opening drawers, rummaging through them. Hey, you're not allowed to... Naruto pulled out a newspaper that had been rolled up neatly. When was this newspaper bought? He asked. That one? I think it's a couple days old. Why? Naruto began to look for the date. Upon finding it, his tense body loosened up as his eyes seemed to be caught in disbelief. This says it's 13 years earlier. Minato walked over. 13 what? Naruto looked up at the man standing over him. Looking past him at the wall, he saw the image of the 4th Hokage. Their faces were one and the same. You really are the 4th Hokage, Naruto said, looking up at the man whose legend was only surpassed by Hashirama Senju himself. Minato looked at Naruto with a smile. I see you're finally getting it. Naruto let out a nervous chuckle before letting it fade, looking once more out at the rest of the village. Internally, he was panicking. He was no longer in the same space-time he was before. Like, maybe he was in the same universe, but his 4th dimensional coordinates had been altered dramatically, and due to that, it was essentially as if he didn't exist. There was no Naruto, no birth certificate. This was before his birth. There was no him. Naruto felt as though he had accidentally just invalidated his whole existence just because he played with a watch. His fear welling up inside of him, his eyes began to moisten as tears yet to fall started building up. Minato looked at the boy and saw the look upon his face. He had seen this look before on many shinobi going out to battle. This was a fear of a future lost, a world that was continuing on without you, a world that was okay that you wouldn't be there in it. He couldn't pin why Naruto might feel that way just by looking at an old newspaper, but whatever it was, this boy was deeply disturbed by it, and Minato was starting to feel bad for him. Maybe it was his fatherly instinct awakening. After all, with Kushina pregnant, Minato had been thinking about babies often, and ever since she informed him, he saw each genin differently. Are you okay? Naruto looked away and wiped his face. Yeah, I'm A-okay. Sorry to have caused so much worry, Lord Fourth. Naruto began to walk away toward the door. Opening it up, he looked back for a moment, displaying the largest, happiest grin he could. Thanks for looking out for me. It means a lot that you came to get me. Minato smiled. It's no issue. Naruto walked out of the building, back onto the streets. From here, he began to lower his guard again. Taking a deep breath, he remembered his earpiece. Reaching up, a part of him had hoped that it was just a mistake and that he was wrong. Pushing in the receiver, he spoke. Kakashi-sensei, if you're there, I really need to talk to you. Kakashi-sensei? Master? There was no response. Naruto pulled the piece from his ear and looked down at it. Taking a deep breath, he spoke. There's no time to panic. I just need to go home, rethink my strategy. He dropped the earpiece in the dirt below him and began to walk off. Minato stepped out of the building and saw the earpiece left on the ground. He picked it up and looked at it. It was a model he had never seen before. It was so small compared to the ones that they had for official use. Watching the boy walk away, Minato turned to the side to begin to head home. But as he did so, he felt his conscience nagging. What if he's in trouble? Naruto walked to his apartment building only to find that there was no such thing. It was an empty lot. Standing there, he pulled out his key and looked down at it. Guess I'm sleeping in the park, he said to himself. Not if I have anything to say about it, a voice said. Naruto looked back to see Minato standing there. Naruto looked at him. You know, eavesdropping isn't a good habit for a Kage. Or maybe it is. Hell if I know, Naruto said as he returned his gaze to the empty lot. Minato walked over and put his hand on Naruto's shoulder. You know, I don't know what your situation is, but whatever it is, you're scared, alone, and don't know where to go. That much is clear to me. I don't like it when people of my village go through things like that. I don't think there's anything you can do about it, Lord Fourth, Naruto said. Why don't you come to my home? We've got plenty of space. I don't think that's... I won't take no for an answer, Minato said. Naruto stood there, silently, thinking it over. He had nothing to lose. Having nowhere else to go, he decided to take him up on it. From there, Naruto left with Minato to a house in the middle of the suburbs. This is where you live? Naruto asked. Minato nodded. Expect something different? Naruto nodded. There's a whole ass mansion on the other side of town. Why didn't you just live there? Minato cleared his throat. We liked a more simple home. Also, one request. My wife is kind of strict, and she won't take kindly to a young man your age using such language. So please, for your own sake, restrict your cursing. Of course. Sorry, I wasn't thinking. Minato laughed. It's quite all right. Just try to remain conscious of it from here on, okay? Minato then placed his key into the door. As soon as he opened it, he called out, Ku, I'm home. Naruto slowly slinked into the house like a shy little puppy being brought home from the pound. And frankly, that's what it was like for him. Having lived so long without a family of his own, it just felt so weird, so awkward to be in a house with two adults. Kushina came around the corner. Hey Minato, you're a bit late. Supper? She stopped as her eyes locked onto Naruto. Naruto looked at her, their eyes meeting. For a moment, it was as if they were the only two people in the world. The silence between them spoke louder than any word might, the empty air echoing a song never played. As if instinctively, despite her pregnancy, Kushina lowered down to her knees as Naruto raced toward her and fell into her arms. At this, Naruto seemed to lose his composure. He was home. Minato was shocked by this turn of events. What is it? He asked. Do you two know each other already? Kushina looked up at Minato, her own eyes starting to tear up a bit. I've never met him a day in my life. Naruto's eyes overflowing, his nose running, making the most atrocious sounds like a squelch or a squeak, he spoke. I don't know what's happening to me. I don't know why I'm crying. Kushina shook her head. I don't either, but whatever it is, it's okay. You're okay. I'm here now. Minato just stood there and smiled, but as the hug continued, Naruto felt an odd sensation in the pit of his stomach. Was it excitement? Something he ate? Where's the bathroom? I think I need to use it. Kushina looked up. Minato, will you please take him to the bathroom? Minato nodded. Sure, there's one up in the guest room where you'll be staying. You can stop there if you need to rest. Minato took the paling Naruto up to the guest bathroom where he left him alone. If you need anything, feel free to let me know. Naruto nodded. Minato closed the door and walked away. Naruto, standing in the bathroom, walked back and forth. Burning up, he removed the jacket and tossed it to the side and began flapping the hem of his tee. He felt as though something were crawling up his chest. He took a deep breath. Don't throw up. Don't throw up, he said. Feeling lightheaded, he sat down by the toilet, his back against the bathtub, and focused on breathing. A lot of weirdness had just taken place. An immediate emotional breakdown? And now he was getting ill? Something was wrong. He felt sick. And now, as he sat there, internalizing his thoughts to try and calm his physical self down, he took a deep breath and let it out. When he opened his eyes again, he wasn't in the bathroom anymore, but in his own mindscape, facing the cage that held the Ninetales. Naruto was unsure how he got here. He wasn't intending to visit this thing. Why was he here? The demon beyond the gates spoke. What have you done to us? It asked. Naruto was confused. What do you mean? There's something strange.
I sense myself. There are two of me, and that shouldn't be possible. Not at present. Where are we? What have you done?
As Minato made it down to the first floor, he went to check on Kushina as she stirred a pot filled with soup. Let me do that. You go sit down, Minato said. Kushina, using her hands to prop her back, began to stumble to the nearby kitchen table where she pulled out a chair and sat down. Who is that boy, Minato? She asked. Just some kid I ran into today. He was down on his luck, so I asked if he wanted to come home with me. No, there's more to it that you're not telling me, she said. Minato looked back. What do you mean? Don't play dumb with me, mister, Kushina said with a hint of a smile. It faded quickly, though. I sensed something in that boy. Something familiar. And I didn't know what it was until it told me. It? Minato asked. The Ninetales. It called me up. Told me that that boy had a piece of itself inside of him. A piece of the Ninetales. Kushina nodded. A rather large piece. At least half. Enough to probably be its own tailed beast. Minato was now no longer stirring the pot. He was deep in thought. You know something, don't you? Kushina asked. Minato looked back at the soup and spoke. When I found him, he said some pretty strange stuff. I didn't know what to make of it. I thought he was just out of sorts, you know? Out of touch with the news, or perhaps a little mental. But now things are starting to seem like I'm wrong about that. A lot of things are starting to click, oddly. What kinds of things? Kushina asked. Well, for instance, the boy claims his name is Naruto. Kushina cocked her head as she thought about it. Well, that's a coincidence. Minato nodded. I thought so too, but he kept talking. Kept mentioning how Hiruzen was the Hokage, and when I said he retired and I, the fourth Hokage, replaced him, his words caught me off guard. What did he say? Kushina asked. He said I was long dead. He went to my office and stole a newspaper and looked at it. He was disturbed, not by the stories on the front, but by the date. He kept looking out at the village, and when he left, I found him waiting outside an empty lot, holding a key. Then, there's this, he said, pulling out the transceiver that Naruto had discarded. He tossed it to Kushina, who caught it. What is this? She asked. It's an earpiece. Wow, this thing is small. This is nothing like what we had when I was active, she said. It's nothing like what we have now. I've never seen an earpiece so small, and it's not connected to any smaller radio. It's high-tech, beyond our own technical knowledge. Kushina looked forward questioningly. What do you think this means? She asked. Minato thought about it. Can I ask a question? Sure. Does Naruto seem familiar to you? Besides the Ninetales in him. Does he look familiar? Is there a reason you and he acted like that when he first arrived? Kushina thought about it. I felt like I knew him. Like he was a long-lost friend I missed, but never knew. And as for his appearance, he looked very familiar. I'd say like you, but pretty much any blonde boy reminds me of you. Minato then spoke. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. What if this Naruto is our Naruto? Kushina seemed like she might laugh it off, but when she saw the look on Minato's face, she knew he wasn't joking. You think he might be our son? Minato nodded. Why? How? How could he be here? She asked. I found him at the Konoha Museum of History. He apparently was on some mission from the Hokage to protect the sage's timepiece. What if that artifact can do more than we think? After all, it is the Sage of Six Paths. Are you saying what I think you're saying? Kushina asked. Minato nodded. What if that boy is our child from the future who was brought back in time by that pocket watch? Kushina was flabbergasted. It seemed impossible, but then again, she couldn't deny that everything lined up. I hate to say it, but I'm starting to think that you might be right. Naruto was still in the bathroom. He looked like he'd gone through it. Blinking slowly, he took a deep breath and rose to his feet. Once he'd finished, he threw his coat down on the bed and sat there for a moment. Putting his shoes beside him, he laid back and thought about it. Taking his headband off, he held it above his face and looked at it before letting it fall to his side. He had already started to guess, at least subconsciously, all the things that the Ninetales had told him. But to have confirmation, he didn't know how to feel about it. Minato and Kushina were his... He sat up. If he really had gone back in time, then there was a chance that his presence was going to mess up the future. He couldn't let them know. He could. He could let them know. The future he lived in was already bad enough, and there was hardly a way it could get worse. Maybe he could let them know, and this question was getting to be too much for him. He was caught between what he wanted and what he thought was right. He didn't know what to do, and so for now, all he could do was wait and think about what was right. Right now, though, he needed to get something to eat. Putting on his jacket again after developing chills, he walked back downstairs to the kitchen. He heard whispering, but he couldn't make out what they were saying. Stepping around the side, he just sort of listened in until Minato noticed him. "Oh, Naruto, I didn't see you there." Kushina looked over with a smile, which faded quickly. "Oh my, Naruto, you look awful. Are you sure you're feeling well?" He nodded. "I gotta eat something." Kushina nodded. "Well, the good news is we're eating soup tonight. It's good for you, nutritious, and easy to digest. Trust me, these are the sorts of things a sick tum needs," she said, rubbing her own stomach. She was referencing to her own nausea from her pregnancy, and so she knew exactly how to help it. Naruto sat down in a chair, his chin falling on the table with a thud. Minato and Kushina looked at him and then to each other. She managed to stand and walked over to check the soup. "Yeah, it should be ready," she said. "Would you mind setting the table and getting the drinks, Minato?" "Of course." They set the table for their meal. After eating, a lot of the color had returned to Naruto's face, and now he just seemed drowsy. "You seem tired," Kushina said. "Why don't you head up to bed?" She turned to Minato. "I think we've got a spare toothbrush in the pantry. Would you mind getting him one?" Minato stood and went up to the guest bathroom. Kushina stood herself. Walking over, she put her hand on his head. She kissed his forehead. "What are you doing?" Naruto asked, pulling back slightly. "Just checking for a fever," she said with a smile. "Good news is you're perfectly fine." Naruto seemed to calm after that. When Minato returned, Naruto thanked them both for the meal and headed up to brush his teeth. Settling into bed, he let out a sigh. He was hoping that a little rest might help him feel better. Not much longer after getting in did Kushina come into the room and sit on the bed with him. As she did, Naruto opened his eyes to look at her. She smiled and put her hand over his. "I'm sorry I'm burdening you and Lord Forth," Naruto said. Kushina shook her head. "It's no burden at all. To be honest, we're very glad to have you here, Naruto. You give this extra bedroom a reason to exist, and frankly, it gives us good practice for when we become parents." Naruto looked away awkwardly. "I don't know where you come from, Naruto. I don't know what you've experienced, but I promise you something. You're welcome here. Me and Minato want you to stay with us for the foreseeable future. This room is officially yours. If you'll have it," she said. "I don't know if I can do that," Naruto said. Kushina rubbed his arm. "It's okay, Naruto. It seems like you're looking for a place to belong, and, well, I believe that's here. We won't force you to do anything, but we would be truly honored to host you and to stand in for your parents, at least until you can figure out where to go from here, okay? So don't sweat anything. Just stay here with us for a while and everything will be okay." Kushina stood and walked to the door where she turned off the light. She began to close the door. "Good night, Naruto. She began to think better of finishing her sentence with the way that she was going to for fear of scaring Naruto. "I wish you sweet dreams," she substituted. Naruto smiled and thanked her. As the door closed, Naruto sat there thinking about it. He felt tears running down his face. Wiping them clean, he turned to the side, the reality of everything settling in. "Damn it," he cursed. Minato was already in bed, reading a book. He looked at Kushina, who was sliding in beside him. How did he take it? "I think he's gonna be here for a while," she said with a smile. "Good night," she said. Minato smiled as he pushed his reading glasses up on his face a bit more. "Good night." For a while longer, Minato read his book. To be honest, he was a bit nervous. Not from work, but from Naruto, and so he ended up reading a lot later than he originally intended. By the time he finished and turned the lamp off, the clock said it was 2:30 a.m. Setting the book down on the bedside table, along with his glasses, he gently slid out of bed. He decided to go to the bathroom before falling asleep. After doing his business, he got the urge to check in on Naruto. Those fatherly instincts taking over, he exited the bedroom and made his way to the bedroom where Naruto was supposed to be sleeping, only to find it empty. He began to think that maybe Naruto had gone down to the kitchen to get a snack. However, passing by the room they had prepared for the baby, he saw Naruto standing in the middle of it. The room was dark, with only the open curtains letting in the moonlight, giving everything in the room a soft blue glow. As Naruto stood there, looking around the room, he spotted every toy. So many of them he remembered, still had in his apartment. But what caught his eye most was the little blue blanket, hand-stitched, embroidered with his name upon it. Lifting it up into his arms, he held the little fabric piece there. There's no way they don't know, Naruto thought within himself. they've already chosen my name. It was then that he heard a bored squeak behind him. He looked back to see Minato looking down at his own foot, letting out a silent curse. Minato looked up and smiled. Naruto was busted, or at least he thought he was. A part of him wanted to quickly put the blanket back into the crib, but he knew it was too late, so he just stood there holding it. "This is a very nice room. I take it your child is going to be a boy?" he asked, as if he didn't already know. Minato stepped in. "Yeah, it's gonna be a boy. A beautiful baby boy who looks just like his papa. Strong and brave, and honest, and kind." As Minato said this, he looked into Naruto's eyes, hardly able to hide his own emotions. "Oh, how strong he'll be. He'll hide things from me because he feels like it's his own burden, but I'll know. I'll always know what's going on in my precious little boy's heart." Naruto was beginning to lose it, but truthfully, so was Minato. "My little boy is going to be a great shinobi one day, but I want him to have a home to go back to where he can just be a son, and I can just be a father. We all need a place like that. I'm going to make sure he has it," Minato said, standing just behind Naruto. Naruto turned around and buried his face into Minato's chest. "Oh, Dad!" he shouted as he began to cry. Minato lowered himself to the floor with Naruto. "Naruto, I'm so sorry for everything you've gone through. I know I wasn't there for you at some point. If I were, this wouldn't have happened. But I'm never gonna let you go again, I swear." The next day, as they rose with the sun, they met downstairs for breakfast. "Good morning, Naruto," Minato and Kushina would both say. Naruto would smile. "Good morning, Mom, Dad." He sat down. As he did, he enjoyed their company for a time, getting something to eat. But as he did so, he noticed that there was a fourth plate of food sitting on the windowsill. As Naruto finished his plate, he noticed that the plate by the windowsill was now also curiously empty. "Are we gonna talk about that?" Naruto said. Minato looked back and smiled. "Yeah, that's just Kakashi," he said. "Kakashi?" Naruto asked. Minato smiled. "Yeah, I have him on guard detail to protect Kushina while she's pregnant with you." "Damn, that sounds weird to say," he said as he went back to his newspaper, taking a sip from his coffee. Kushina gathered the plates and sat them in the sink. "So, what are you two going to do today? Are you going to work with Minato today, Naruto? Or do you plan to stay with me?" Naruto looked back and forth between the two. Minato looked back. "Take the day off. Spend some time with your mother. I'll be back later on. Besides, I'm sure Kakashi will need all the help he can get." "Well, I guess I'm interested to see Kakashi again," Naruto said. "He was actually my team's Jonin where I come from." Minato looked over his paper. "Really? Well, I'm glad to see he was always watching over you." Naruto nodded. "Me too. I just never realized how much until now." As Minato left, Naruto did the dishes for Kushina to help keep her off her feet for the time being. As he did so, though, he looked out in the backyard to see Kakashi hiding in the bushes with what looked to be a monocular, scouting him out. As he finished the dishes, Naruto stepped outside onto the back porch. Looking around, he began to make his way to the bush. There, he pushed the branches aside to see a hardly amused Kakashi. "Scram, kid, you're blowing my cover." Naruto smiled. "You must be Kakashi," Naruto said. "I've, heard many things about you." "I'm sure you have. You're interfering with my duties though, so if you please, can you let me continue my work?" Naruto nodded. "Oh, sure I can. I was going to invite you inside for a glass of chocolate milk, but I guess you're too busy, huh?" The sound of a spoon clanking about glass could be heard as a white liquid slowly took on a darker and darker color. Heading back to the table with both glasses, he sat them down. "So, you're Kakashi. My, Lord Fourth tells me a lot about you," he said. "Funny, 'cause he's told me absolutely nothing about you. You just showed up one day and suddenly seemed to be just another part of the family. So tell me, who are you to these people?" Naruto thought carefully about this. He didn't want to blow his cover, so he came up with a bit of a lie. "Well, as it turns out, I'm a distant cousin of Lord Fourth. My name is Haruto Kajo. We only discovered each other yesterday. Results for DNA testing came back, and it turns out we're kin. And because I don't have parents, Lord Fourth and his wife so graciously let me stay here with them." Kakashi kept a strained look on his face, as if trying to put two and two together. "DNA testing, huh?" Kakashi parroted. "Why would Lord Fourth decide to do something like that?" "Maybe it was for the same reason I did. Curiosity. Or maybe he grew interested in it because he's starting his own family. I don't know, but whatever happened, he's provided me with something I haven't had in a long time. A family. and I'm forever grateful to him for it. Kakashi took a sip of his milk, straight through the mask, too. Naruto sat there questioning why Kakashi wasn't more forthcoming in conversation. He was always a bit of a wet blanket, but he was at least talkative. Right now, though, he acted as though he wanted nothing to do with anyone. It wasn't much longer after that Kakashi finished his milk and left for the backyard again. I wouldn't worry about him, Kushina said, looking into the kitchen from where she was sitting. He's been prickly ever since... Well, ever since what? Naruto asked. Well, I'll tell you about it in a little while. I'm actually about to head out on the town to buy some groceries. Would you like to join me? I'll tell you on the way. Naruto nodded. I'd be happy to. And so the two of them went out on the town for a time, and during their travels, Kushina told Naruto exactly why Kakashi was so distant. Naruto was surprised. He had heard Kakashi mention Rin and Obito, but never knew it was so bad. Returning to the house, they decided to take some time to make dinner together. Honestly, Naruto was never much of a cook, well, besides the ramen he always made. But honestly, he was having a lot of fun doing this. Will you do me a favor, Naruto? Kushina asked. I need you to chop the veggies. I'm gonna start frying the fish. Naruto nodded. Aye aye, Captain. Getting a knife, he began to line up the onions. As he began to chop, Kushina stopped for a moment and then left the room. Naruto hardly even noticed. He was too busy decimating those vegetables. Not much longer after, Kushina walked back in. Hey, Naruto. Yeah, he called back. Would you do me a favor and make a few calls for me? Naruto looked back to see Kushina sitting on a chair by the table. Sure. Are you okay? He asked. Yeah, I just need you to call these numbers. When you call the first one, as soon as the person answers, I need you to say this code word. She handed him a piece of paper that said grapefruit on it. Okay, what does it mean? He asked. It means my water just broke and I'm going into labor. Naruto's eyes widened. He hadn't even thought about what day it was. Kushina smiled at her son. Happy birthday, Naruto. Minato rushed to the location where Kushina was. Naruto was standing outside the door. Minato stopped by him. Hey, you okay? Yeah, it's just kind of funny standing guard at your own birth, you know? Oh, and just to let you know, if anyone asks, my name's Haruto Kajo, and I'm your long-lost cousin, okay? Minato blinked twice, and then raised his thumb up. Sure, sounds great. He then ran past him into the room. Naruto stood there silently as he heard the sounds of a woman screaming. It was maddening. The whole situation was super tense, and it was just all around stressful. However, a moment later, Kushina let out a loud scream, and it was suddenly cut off by the sound of another cry. It was a small cry, a baby. It was Naruto. He almost decided to enter the room, but was caught off guard by a distant shadow. Looking into the darkness of the hallway, he saw something dart toward him. He saw an eye, and then all of a sudden, he found himself in a new location entirely. I'm sure you know what happens next. The attack on Kushina, the way baby Naruto is held hostage, and the subsequent release of the Nine Tails. Well, that still occurs, and now Naruto knows what's happening too. This was the night he lost his parents, and as he wandered the endless void of the Kamui dimension, he screamed in rage, trying to get out, but nothing was giving. That was until suddenly someone appeared in the dimension with him. It was Minato. Dad? How did you get in here? What's happening? Minato spoke. Your mother was attacked. They're trying to take the Nine Tails out of her. I'm here to rescue you with my flying Raijin. We need to get to the Nine Tails before your mother dies. Naruto felt like panicking, but he stopped. He couldn't. He wouldn't. He needed to be determined right now. Focused. Tell me what to do. As the Nine Tails attacked the village, Minato stepped out of the door of the safe house where he had stored the baby Naruto. There, he began to fight with the masked man. As they did that, Naruto shot from the door past the masked man toward the Nine Tails. The masked man looked back, confused as to how he got out. Minato threw a kunai through the man to get his attention. Hey, I'm your opponent. Don't let your guard down. Naruto made it to the village. There, he saw the beast. Naruto knew this was a bad idea, but Minato told him that he believed in him. His desire to save his family would have to come through. And so, Naruto raised his shirt, exposing the seal. In his hand was something Minato had given him, the key to his seal. Undoing it, the gate swung wide open, and Naruto began to let out a cry. His body started to change as chakra spilled from it, forming into something else. If Minato was wrong, they would have two problems on their hands, and for a moment, Naruto raged. In a berserk state, he began to cause as much mayhem as the Nine Tails. However, with pure willpower, he reeled it back in. He wouldn't lose his family again. he would subdue the Ninetales and deliver it back to his mother. Taking control of the Ninetales' power, he forced it to fight the other beast. The two powers clashed, and with each strike, the village rumbled. However, the other Ninetales was stronger. It possessed 100% of its power, not 50% like Naruto. And though Naruto could make up some of the difference, it wasn't enough to come anywhere near the full beast. However, Naruto had his mind about him and began to enact the plan Minato had given him. All he needed to do was restrain the Ninetales, and as he managed to get under its attacks, he grabbed the beast by the waist and lifted it into the air, moving it out of the village. All the while, the masked man watched. "Oh, you think you're slick, don't you, Minato? But you're merely a fool." A moment later, the masked man disappeared and reappeared on the head of the Ninetales. Naruto took a step back. Seeing the Sharingan, he looked away as to not be cast under Genjutsu, but that was just what the masked man needed. "I won't leave without my prize," he said. Using Kamui, he warped not only himself, but Kushina's Ninetales out of the village. Naruto was shocked. "No!" he shouted. Just then, Minato lighted on his head with the flying Raijin. Where did they go?" Minato asked. "They escaped," Naruto said. Minato, helping Naruto reform his seal, brought him back down to human form, where the other villagers began to gather around them to offer them their gratitude for saving them, but they had no time to bask in the limelight. The two of them teleported back to the safe house where Kushina was. Walking in, Minato came to her side. "Kushina!" She looked at Minato. In her arms, she held baby Naruto. As the old Naruto stood over her, he caught a glimpse of himself. He knew deep down that this was his last moment with his mother. He could sense it. Minato began to cry into Kushina's hands. "I'm sorry," he said. "I failed. I couldn't get it back." She smiled. "It's okay, Minato. I always knew that this was a possibility. I just ask that you take care of our children. Promise me, and I can move on happily." Minato nodded. "I promise." "No," Naruto said. Kushina and Minato looked at him. "No," he said a second time. "I won't have it," he shouted. "I won't let this happen." He came to Kushina's side. "Please, Mom, I need you. You can't go." "But there's nothing I can do," she said. "Maybe not, but there's something I can," Naruto said. Taking her hand, he began to focus. With his seal unlocked, he had complete and total control over what he did with the Ninetales. There were no limitations on him anymore, and without those, he was free to do anything, including transferring the beast to someone else. "What are you doing?" she asked. "Saving you," said Naruto. "Please, you can't do that. You'll die," she said. Naruto held her hand tightly. "For as long as I can remember, I've been alone. I've had nobody waiting for me at home, and it hurt so bad. But then I met you. I met Dad. I can't lose you again," he said. As his free hand reached out, it rested upon baby Naruto's head. "I can't do it again. I can't grow up without a mom. So please, if you love me, let me do this." Kushina began to cry. "Minato, stop him." Minato reached out. "Naruto, stop." Naruto looked back at Minato. "Don't stop me, Dad. I know you love me, and you know I love you, but I'm not supposed to be here. I shouldn't be here. I'm an interloper. I don't know why I was sent back, but if I can use my power, my life, to save you and my mother, then it's all worth it. So please, if you will do anything for me, then do this. Let me save her." "Naruto, I swore to never leave you again. You can't make me do this." Naruto smiled. "I'm not making you break that promise." Naruto looked back at his infant self. "I'm right here," he said, pointing to the baby. "Never leave him." And a moment later, he transferred the remainder of the Ninetales into Kushina. She was immediately reinvigorated. Naruto, now weakened, fell back against Minato, who cradled him in his arms. Tears running down Minato's face, he held his son's hand and kissed his cheek. "Naruto, I swear a new oath to you. I won't let your sacrifice be for nothing." Naruto looked back at Minato, and with a weak voice he spoke. "Please stop swearing." Taking a few deep breaths, he continued. "Just love me as much as you can, and we'll call it square." Kushina took Naruto's other hand in hers. "We already do." Naruto smiled. "Good." Slowly, his eyes began to close, and all he saw was darkness. "Naruto!" Kushina cried out. "Naruto!" Minato cried out. "Naruto!" A new voice came from the darkness. "Naruto!" The voice of Kakashi. "Naruto!" Naruto's eyes opened in the darkness of the broom closet. "Huh? What is it?" "The perp's headed your way," Kakashi said. Naruto burst out of the closet to see a man in a three-piece suit headed his way. Stepping out in front, he tackled the man to the ground.
Ho ho ho, that hurt like hell,
the man said. Kakashi caught up with them and lifted the man. You okay, Naruto? Naruto nodded. I'm fine. Are you sure you're okay? Kakashi asked. You look like you've been crying. Have a bad dream? Naruto sat there for a moment. No, I had a really good one, he said with a smile. Naruto then picked up something from the ground, an artifact that the thief had stolen, a pocket watch. Opening it up, he looked at the hands. Is it okay? Kakashi asked. Naruto popped the hands back into place, wound it up, and set it to the right time. Letting it go, there were no lights, no flashes, no bolts of electricity. It's fine, I guess, he said. Good. Let me put it back, Kakashi said, taking it from Naruto. With their mission over, their target apprehended, and the museum defended, they were allowed to leave. Just as they got out, they noticed the sky was pink with the rising of the sun. Well, I guess it's a little late to catch a good night's sleep, Sakura said. You've got the day off, Kakashi said. Go home and get some rest. You earned it. Even if Naruto did sleep through most of the watch. Sasuke and Sakura left, but as Naruto stood there, he kept looking up at the sculpture of the fourth Hokage. The longer he looked, the more his heart broke. Was it really a dream? It felt so real, so vivid. Kakashi noticed what Naruto was looking at. You know, your face might be up there beside his one day. Naruto remained silent. I don't know what's going on with you, Naruto, but just know, whatever it is, you can talk to me about it. After all, that's what family's for. Naruto's heart cracked upon hearing that. As tears began to stream down his cheeks, he turned around and hugged Kakashi. Naruto had never been alone. He thought for the longest time he'd been living by himself, but all the while, hiding in the bushes nearby, he had a guardian angel. And now, because of Kakashi, he had a new family. Is there anything I can do to make you feel better, Naruto? Kakashi asked. Naruto pulled back and wiped his eyes. Yeah, how about we go get some chocolate milk? And that's where I'm gonna call it quits. This story slowly evolved into one that I found myself getting more and more drawn into. I loved being able to explore this with you, to see what a life Naruto might have if he got to go back in time and be with his folks. Of course, it was sadly only a dream. Or maybe in some universe out there, it really happened. Maybe somewhere Naruto is growing up under the loving gaze of his parents. I'd like to think that it wasn't a dream. But you know what? I'm gonna leave that up to your interpretation. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, let me know about it in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe to gain access to the bell so you can be notified when more videos like this drop. And while we're at it, check out these other videos. I'm sure you'll love them too. Until next time, peace out.